Now I want to introduce this year's class speaker, Sanjay.
Thank you. Before I get started, I want to let you know that Dean Tennessee has approved Showtime at the Apollo rules. So whenever you get tired of me, you can just start yelling and throwing things. She's got a giant hook, and she's going to grab me off stage. So I want to thank you, Dean Alderman, faculty, and the class of 2014 for electing me your class speaker. I also want to thank Regent Hollingsworth for continuing academic tradition of mine, because my academic career is ending today in 2014 the same way it began in 1990, with somebody mispronouncing my name in front of the entire class. Also, thank you, Regent Wells, for taking the time to join us tonight. So, before I get started, I have to thank a few people. Of course, my lovely wife, Melissa, who most of you know and like better than you like me. Thanks for putting up with me for the last 3 years. And to honor a promise to her, I have to acknowledge Lucid and Khaleesi, our 2 black Labradors. Of course, I have to thank my parents, without whom I couldn't be here today. But sadly, they couldn't make it. They're actually at the Baylor College of Medicine graduation right now, pretending that I'm graduating from there as a doctor. Like a good Indian kid would. Now, I spent a lot of time thinking about the last 3 years while writing this speech and kept coming back to the same ideas and same conclusions, that law school is really the weirdest place. I mean, it's not really designed for team building or cooperation or interacting normally with other human beings. We're separated into sections and forced to compete against our peers. It's like someone long ago read Lord of the Flies and thought, that's a really, really good idea. Let's put it into the field. It had me nervous before I started because I'm kind of chubby, normally wear glasses, and don't have a conscience. But Lord of the Flies never happened. We were never taken away or taken over by the pressure. Rather, we held each other up. We became friends, started relationships, developed careers, and kind of became awesome. In front of me, the class of 2014 has people that are going to work for the better of society, ensuring the poorest among us has equal access to the justice system that they deserve. We have people going to work for the largest law firms in the world to represent the largest companies on earth, and those joining plaintiffs' firms to sue those people at the largest companies in the world. In front of me, we have politicians, Ben Wells, CEOs, Megan DeIke, nonprofit leaders, Laura Duncan, and gajillionaire trial lawyers, Rose Garden Smoker Cruz. But what we have and what we will become is not what I'm going to remember about law school. It's about who we are. I'll remember always being able to stop by the Commons, wake up a napping Michael Groves, and have very serious debates on the merits of Batman. I remember Audrey Huffman, in the depths of finals, always having an infectious and insatiable love of the law that made tax law seem really, really interesting. I remember David Rust, our esteemed salutatorian and the youngest member of our graduating class, teaching all of us that none of us are truly smarter than a 5th grader. And I'll remember the first day of class when Lucas Babin asked Professor Dow if he actually had to read an assignment if it was marked on the syllabus for his own flavor and edification. And I'll remember Professor Dow's forehead veins throbbing in response. But I'll remember how that changed over the years, because by the last day of class, Dino Arslanigic asked our professor if we could write a final paper in Courier New Font. And if you don't get that joke, it just means you've never written a law review paper. So we had each other to lean on for long nights in the library and basement, never-ending classes, and competitions and journal work. We went through law school together, not competing against one another. And this is a school after all, and we had amazing teachers along the way. Professors Duncan and Wells, who taught us every nook and cranny of the law and left us feeling like we knew everything in the world. On the other hand, we had professors like Dow and Bush. Rather than teaching us what to think, they taught us how to think, and left us thinking that, maybe with the right argument, the world is actually flat. And we all watched Professor Mall bounce around the front of the room in business organizations like an old school screensaver. We also had a wonderful administrative staff. Indeed, Alderman, you've done a wonderful job over the years. I mean, we definitely appreciate the free regalia and the new public service scholarships. But right now I'm talking about the people who run the law school. Most notably, Derek Gabriel and Vicki Crane. They're the solver of all of our problems, the oracle of student organizations, the masters of our schedule. I mean, how many of us wrote officer in a student organization on our resumes when it really says, or when it really should say, frequent visitor to Vicki Crane? How many of us had any of our law school problems solved in a matter of seconds by Derek Gabriel? The class of 2014 owes the both of them a huge debt of gratitude, and we came together one last time to collect funds to present each of them tonight with a gift of $500 as a thank you for your hard work, dedication, and service to our law school. Because that's really it. We finished law school thanks to everyone around us, like Derek and Vicki. We stand on their shoulders. Our parents who work night shifts for us. Thanks, Mom. She actually is here, by the way, not at Baylor. Professor Brule, who stayed at the law school till midnight to grade all of our practice exams, however terrible they might be. Laura Neal, who made sure the student loan process was as easy and fun as taking out 6 figures in debt can be. Chris and the other security guards worked all night to ensure our safety so we could work all night. And the maintenance staff who got up every day and patched together a creaky old building to ensure we had an environment that was safe, hospitable, and according to the sign in the sub-basement, recently asbestos-free. So according to Google results for how to write a graduation speech, at this point I'm supposed to issue a challenge. So I have a simple one that I came up with a few days ago. On the way home from the graduation rehearsal, I actually got into a small fender bender. It was my fault, and I scratched some guy's bumper. He got out of his car, let me know that he was driving a Mercedes, like I couldn't see the sign on the back of his car, and told me that I was screwed because I had the gall to hit a lawyer and scratch his bumper. Here's my challenge. Don't be that guy. I know the class of 2014 will be successful, but we can't be lost in that success. We have to take a moment to appreciate the hard work of everyone around us. The people fixing our streets, picking up our trash, maintaining our buildings, the people who make sure our offices will be clean enough so we can host clients every morning. Because they're doing the same thing that our parents, grandparents, teachers, and administrators did for us. Working hard so people can have the same opportunities that we had to walk across the stage today. And they deserve our respect and admiration. In the end, it's about awareness. Awareness that we do nothing alone. Awareness that our success is predicated on the sacrifices around us, of those around us. That everyone around us is deserving of admiration because they're all part of the seamless web that makes up our world. Awareness that we truly are in this together because life, like law school, cannot be like Lord of the Flies. Thank you.
We're almost finished. Class of 2014, there you have it. A well-earned degree from one of the top law schools in the country. A fact that will never be lost on others, shouldn't be lost on you. As you move forward with your careers and your accomplishments, I encourage you to adopt excellence as your goal from day one for every day that follows, and reap the benefits of your commitment and hard work. Today, with your degree, you're empowered to choose the path you will take. I expect that path will allow you to do well. I hope you choose a path that allows you to do good.